Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Murphy, how many days a week would you say that I go on walks?
Every day.
Oh.
I think Jodi goes to, well, I mean, there are most days.
I'd say 5 or 6 days a week I walk. Normally alone. So Taylor came with me yesterday, and I'm going to tell you, she said a couple of things, especially at the end of the walk. My heart. She didn't know. She almost made her mother cry. So, number one, why do you think I walk? Anyone?
It's twofold. Sam, you want to take a guess at it? I mean, I'm her husband, so
listening to this
Sam,
while you walk, I want to know why you walk, too.
Fitness and also peace of mind.
Peace is nice. Fitness is definitely probably top of the list. Is there anything else?
Yeah, the third thing is nature.
Yes! Murphy! Yes.
There are three.
He knows this.
If this would have been Family Feud, I would have lost.
I would, it is really, honestly, Jodi, it's one of my favorite things about you because I don't think that there's anything more natural than loving nature. I mean, is there anything more fundamental about life? It does, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just the appreciation for that is focusing on everything, or focusing on the one thing and letting everything else go around you.
Right.
I'm trying to say.
It's so beautiful.
And nature is beautiful by itself.
If you're taking walks every day, if you're not stopping to notice nature, you're missing out because it is there. Especially if you choose a time of the day like I do. I normally walk right before near sunset. Okay. I do it for fitness. I do it to let the stress of the day go. So peace of mind, yes. But nature, I'm always excited about what I'm going to see. So at the last minute, I was getting all my shoes on and Champ was getting excited, our dog, and Taylor says, "Can I come with you?" And I said, "Of course, you can always come with me." And so we start walking, and I tell her on the way, we're going across the little creek bridge where I see turtles all the time and snakes and dead fish that have been dumped and you name it, ducks, everything. You see everything down there. It's so exciting. We're walking across the bridge, and I said, "Look, Taylor, there's a street a couple of blocks down here that at sunset, I always see raccoons and like a little family of raccoons." And as soon as I said it, I even said, "Now that I'm telling you, we won't see them." That's just Murphy's Law, whatever.
Thanks.
But I really wanted her, maybe that's not the right example. I really wanted her to experience that with me because it's so cool. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that. I was a country girl growing up. When I was a little girl, I was always running around in the woods, no shoes on, climbing trees. So it's in me to see this and notice this. My dad was very much about pointing out birds and pointing out that. And I got that from him. And I love it because it's so necessary for my peace of mind. Just to spend time in nature.
The more beautiful looking at that than a task list, huh?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
So we go down the street. It's a dead-end street, and we're walking, and I'm like, there's a couple of houses over here where I always see raccoons. Well, I often see raccoons at sunset. I said, just peek and see. And I'm minding my own, and she goes, and there were 2 raccoons, and as soon as they saw us, they do what raccoons do when they see humans. They freeze. Yeah. Act like so still that you don't think they're real. But we just stood there, and it was like a standoff. And then one of them stood up on its back hind legs. I have a little video of it. And Taylor was like, "Oh, my gosh." She goes, "You don't think they're going to charge at us?" And I was like, "No." And they scurried away. And I was like, "I'm so glad you got to see that." We continue with our walk. It's a nice breeze. It's a nice evening. We talk a lot. We visit. Towards the end of the walk, when we're coming home last night, Murph, 2 things. She said, "Thank you for letting me come with you." I said, of course. She says, I understand. I know that you like to be by yourself for these a lot of times. And I'm thinking, she knows me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's very thoughtful to say, thank you for letting me come with you. And I explain, you're welcome anytime. This is a special time together. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can walk alone a million other times.
That's that empathy part of her. It's what's probably going to make her a great counselor, honestly.
She's not just self-aware, but she's aware of who she's with, and it's beautiful. But then we were getting closer to the house where we had seen, I call it my owl, the last couple of, I've seen this owl 2-3 times this week.
Yeah, Sam, there's only one, in the neighborhood, right?
There are several owls, but I've seen the small one more than once recently on the roof. with a rat in its claws.
Oh, yeah.
That was freaky.
And then the next night, I saw it on right across the street from our house, looking at our house. Well, looking down, hunting.
Was it on that sign?
No, it was on the
branch?
power line.
Oh, okay.
But
we've actually seen them on our mailbox before.
Yes.
That's crazy, too. They're so still that they look like an ornament until you get closer and realize that's a real owl on our mailbox.
The girls were about to ask me, like, one time, did you buy one of those fake owls? Like, no, it's real. But Taylor, also, we were looking for the owl last night, and we did not see it, and we did not hear it. So it's like, okay, well, let's just go in. Raccoons only and turtles only tonight. And she said, again, my heart, she said, do you think that the owl knows you and sort of has a relationship with you? And I'm like, yes, child. Yes, in my heart.
It's Jodi's greatest fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
It is. But she said it sincerely.
Oh, I know she said it sincerely.
Do you think this owl knows your scent and your hair color maybe and knows you? Because every time I come upon this owl, I just stand there and we have a moment and it looks at me for a while and I get really still and I pick up my phone and I shoot video and
see, here is I stand by this because it really doesn't matter whether you believe Jodi or not with that. You can't prove or disprove that.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Is it really? I mean, you can't if you can't see it, the owl can't tell you.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Why? That's one thing I'm overjudging anymore. In fact, honestly, as time goes by and the more complex life gets, I love it when people lose themselves in something like that, and whether you're projecting yourself onto the owl or whether the owl really is your dad. I don't know.
Wait. I have never thought the owl or any bird is a family member.
I thought you thought the cardinals were your dad.
No, it was the woodpecker.
Oh, the
that
woodpecker.
She thought. Woodpeckers.
Okay. I thought the woodpeckers reminded me of my dad and made me think of him and long for him. I never thought he was in the tree.
Oh, well, then maybe, did I make that up? Because I used to say, hey, your dad's outside knocking on a tree.
And that was like, oh, sweet. But no, I don't think my dad is in the body of a bird. No.
Oh. Okay, all right. Well,
I was under that impression, too.
But here's the thing is, even if you were, I still wouldn't. I mean, who am I to judge that?
It just makes
That's
me
what
think
I'm saying.
of
Who
him.
am I to judge that?
He was the person that I did that with when I was a child. He pointed out birds. He was very nature-y too.
I think that is and it doesn't matter to me whether it's a coincidence or not. I think it's a beautiful moment when you experience something like that,
right,
where you see two birds that I swear one time were probably my parents or symbolic of my parents or something.
It made you think of them
flying around, staying, by our house.
Those were cardinals.
It's crazy when something happens totally out of the ordinary, and it only happens once, and then it doesn't happen again. You wonder. You know what I mean?
Yes. But no,
sweet.
When she asked me that, do you think that this owl, she was serious. And I'm like, yes, child. Yes. And I know better than that. That owl has if I had a rat in my hand, that owl would attack me. I understand that. It is
if
nature.
you were small enough, he'd grab you by the neck and take you away.
If you have a bun in your hair, and I think I may have had a ponytail that night, if you have a round bun at the top of your hair, you have to be careful, ladies, of owls, because some of them will think that's something for them to grab and fly off with. Yes.
You've had this problem?
No, I just know of it.
Oh.
I have a friend who worked at a place with a parking garage, and they had an owl, and that owl would go after women with buns in their hair all the time. They had to call Wildlife and Fisheries.
Yeah, every now and then, and I don't know, hawks are the same way. Do you think hawks are as beautiful, by the way?
I think hawks are gorgeous. I just
the way that they soar, it's great, but the only time that freaked me out is there were two circling the backyard, and our tiny dog Sparky was out there.
Scary.
There's your chance.
Right.
Where's Sparky? No, I have no idea.
And I don't know they were probably looking at something in the canal behind, but I'm like, we're going to go inside,
they're checking him out and assessing whether they think they could pick him up or not. Yeah. Now, he's pretty hefty because he eats a lot. But
if there were two of them.
Right. We don't let Sparky.
Hey, Joe, what do you think about that long-haired chihuahua down there?
I get the head, you get the back. We'll get him out of here.
We don't let him out for long at all at sunset or at night without us because of all the birds of prey that live near us. But anyway, it's just beautiful. And to have her say that, it was just so sweet.
Yeah. I think that you connect with almost every animal. It's kind of sad though. Like if there's roadkill, Jody's like, I mean, every time it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it is hard. And everybody obviously
There
thinks
was
it's
a horrible
horrible,
moment.
but you
means.
internalize it as that was a living creature, and I mean, I know how animals affect you.
Yes.
I do.
Are the
it's
raccoons
sweet.
recognize you too, or?
By now, maybe. It's always the same, too. Well, I say that.
They make really.
Really? They have rings around the tail, maybe?
One of them has a bracelet. The raccoons are hilarious though because of the way that they go up on their hind legs and they freeze.
Still.
And they're waiting for you to move. That's why they make such great memes or things that go viral. They're, because they're hysterical
So true.
looking. But the thing is, you don't want to corner a raccoon. Because,
Really?
that gets nasty fast.
And
From your experience?
Well, so I mean, I've heard that from a friend. The only other thing is if you stumble across the raccoon's nest, like my dad did one time coming home from work, and they had built underneath one of these sheds that we had in the backyard. It was elevated off the ground, and he backed a car up. Didn't know that. And when he got out, the the baby raccoons came around. They started running around his leg, which he thought was cute, and then the mama raccoon came out.
Good for her.
Yeah. And so that, he had to get away from him. But he was circled by the
That's
raccoons.
nature because she's protecting her own.
Yeah.
That's all. So beautiful.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jody podcast.